Oh,
Everybody get ready.
I know.
Time for new sports. Two-headed dick. Coming down with the vote. One day she gonna bring in the tennis shoes. Until she owns some. You don't believe. Want to see her in the sports bra.
Oh.
Margarita wrestling.
Oh,
now
man.
you know what a sports bra is.
Yeah, I know.
You know what a sports? Okay.
You now know what a sports bra is.
I've seen the Margarita wrestling. They have the other
up close
outfits.
and personal. I saw that.
That was
you
so
wanted
good.
to know what it was
Lord.
a couple of weeks ago.
I want to scratch and sniff.
That's cold. That's cold. Well,
this is not such a great picture. Here.
why not? Wait. You know
You
what?
got a syndrome.
Well, before see, let me say this, DeVoe, welcome everybody to our new sports segment. The reason why I have to say that is because I have to show the picture of what was reality, and I think Mario enjoys this picture because the Lakers lost yesterday along with the Bulls,
They look like they lost.
I don't relish.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
anyone's
I know
defeat.
he does.
Yes, he does.
Grasshopper.
But I know he does.
I seek the higher plane of consciousness.
You seek nothing.
That's right. That's right.
He was having a field day.
Well,
Back in mind.
Hey, well, look. Before we even show anything else going on today, the question becomes this: we can go over the analysis of the game because we watched it and we know what happened in the third quarter. Collapse, so to speak, for the Lakers. But the Bulls and the Lakers lost, and they're both favored, and they're supposed to be the ones winning. Okay, now which one is the yay for? Are you saying that Chicago is a lost favor for you? In other words, they lost?
No,
but they can tolerate. No, but it's okay because I still like the idea of the underdogs anyway.
True.
And
so,
you know what? Everybody was going for Chicago and for Lakers. Everybody. I remember all the guys that were here the other week,
Yeah.
And so you're right. The underdog did pull it off.
And you like that?
Yeah. Who actually won?
Wait a minute.
Strong work, sports fan.
Well, let me just help her out.
Sports fan.
No, that's okay.
She's not the sports fan.
Right. Let me just help you out.
I was into Bin Laden this week. Okay, sorry.
All right,
go ahead.
Oh well, it's not a big deal. Hey, Kobe, and they lost to the Dallas Mavericks, and I said this last week. This is not the Dallas Mavericks, the team that we have come to know over a period of time. This is a whole different camp, and they are defensive.
Before.
They're very defensive, and they've added their weapons. So, with that being said, okay, we know that, but Chicago also kind of slipped on the radar. So let me just say this.
Yes, they did.
Everybody.
All right, wait.
Yay!
See, this is
upset.
Wait a minute.
And there's a whole new hero in the house.
Just a whole
Mavericks,
Go Dina Dog.
Mavericks, Flat, whatever they are.
See what happens? If I told you that sports is wrapped around sex, it would be, but they're so happy championing the losses of the favorites. We're going to go on with it.
Yeah.
So here's the bottom
along.
line. Yeah, you're going right along with it. I don't care. That's okay. All right, bottom line here. Okay, now the Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, everybody said the Atlanta Hawks was going to get swept. Now, when you looked at the game, I actually, it seemed like Chicago took them for granted because the last few games in the season, they were beating about 30 and 40 points. Okay, that being said, Lakers lose against Dallas. Which team should really be concerned about their first loss to what they would call the ones that were favored to lose? In other words, Dallas was supposed to lose this game. They won. Atlanta, big surprise to me. Mario, who do you think has more to fear?
DeVoe actually had the right answer.
I think Lakers.
Now, why though? Why do you say it?
Well,
is that asking too much?
No, it's not. I mean,
you do pretty good. We know sports ain't your thing.
I know, but I'm just thinking of it logically. They're like legends.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they can't afford that.
Okay.
Well, I thought. Well, here's the thing. Chicago had a game that was so unusually bad that you could actually just throw it out.
You did what I did.
You could actually. When you do it that bad, you just throw it away.
Yeah.
It's just you just had a day where nothing worked.
Right.
So
everything blew. It was so bad. Well, I'm just saying you can't count that. You know you're not going to have any. It's like if you came in here on those rare days where everything shuts down.
Right.
We'd only get like one of those a year.
True.
Or something or two. See what I'm saying? So you have to throw it out, and that's what I think you do with the Chicago loss. They were down 9-0 in the beginning of the game, and their star player didn't even score until like 5 minutes left.
Good point.
So
Good point,
in the half or something.
I'm saying.
So it really was an aberration. So I think you throw that out. Now back over with the Mavericks. No, I think that the Lakers still could win this, and I still think they will. but I think it did signify more that they had more on their hands than you expected. One of the things that was most worrisome was the inability of Bynum to actually take any kind of charge on the ins. Okay, everybody expected the Lakers' big guys to really kind of take a little more charge down and under, and they really didn't to the extent that you would have thought. I was even surprised with Bynum looking clumsy at times.
Right.
Gasol just being outmanned at times.
Right.
Even though the Lakers showed well, it was the fact that how well they got matched up down low.
Right.
That was a shocker, a little bit of a shocker to me.
Right. Yeah, I would say, and you're right. When I went to look at the numbers across the board, everybody contributed to a certain degree. But the problem that became very self-evident is that Kobe had to do more. And that's a sign that the Lakers are struggling at various points. And the question became, why was so many launching of three-pointers made by the Lakers? They didn't take full advantage of the matchups between Odom and who was guarding him. Gasol still weak. Bynum closer to his game, but the problem, they said, is when Dallas could step up on defense, they could do it automatically. The Lakers picked their points, and when they collapsed in the third quarter, I watched the game. When they got that 16, 18-point lead, they relaxed.
Well, I tell you what,
they relaxed. They took it for granted, and they did not press the defense. They relaxed.
Right, and they still could have won, Vic. Remember, if Kobe had hit that three-pointer, they still could have won.
Right.
But let's just say this. Let's look at the matchups coming again.
Right.
Let's face it. They down under, though. Bynum,
should dominate.
But it was interesting how Dallas could match up with them down underneath. It's just not happening. Tyson Chandler and others still doing it physically,
right,
and actually making it look like. Definitely, I think the part again. Would you expect them to out physical the Lakers to that degree?
No, I think they fell into the same trap that they usually fall into. This is the Dallas Mavericks. They actually extended what they call the physicality to Dallas with that 16-point lead. And then all of a sudden they got relaxed and started shooting three-pointers. They forgot going down inside. They call it going for the kill. And age may be playing a part in this, or the lack of athleticism to some degree, because Lakers are a system. Dallas has a lot of individual hustlers who like to go and meet on the grind, the challenge. Like I said, what's the evil monster in front of the Lakers that they have to take down? They really don't have one. They're not in the position of going after Boston.
They do now.
Well, yeah, they got to worry about now. I agree.
Now.
They do.
And they look like an evil monster starting to rear its head on the east, too.
Yes.
So they better, like I said, Vic and I said already this year is going to be a challenge of the old guard versus the new.
Yes.
That's already proven to be everywhere you look.
That's right.
With the big differences being the abilities of the young teams to run and recover.
Enforce their will.
Right. Both of the teams that just upset came back and won the first games again in the next series.
Right.
And these are so they are continuing on their trend of upsets.
And there's things that hasn't happened in the past when it comes to the Mavericks. They have speed. They have defense. They have youth. Youth is being served. You're seeing the last, to me, of the Boston, L.A. fixture in championships. After this year, to me, really, after this year, the changing of the guard is taking place. Miami, Chicago, they're all going to step up. Atlanta still being somewhat young. These are the teams that's going to forge with their what they call leg speed. You can't fight against speed. Dallas' speed in that recovery of that 16 to 18-point deficit was unbelievable how they ramped it up. When the Lakers have to ramp it up, you don't fear off-the-ball dribbles. They don't have one-on-ones. And let's just be clear on this. Mavericks have a sixth man of the year who came in second place this year. So they offset Lamar Odom by saying we got a sixth man too. Jason Kidd is a three-point threat now. Used to be that wasn't his thing.
And he's doing some hustling defense.
Thank you.
He at least is pestering the shit out of Kobe.
There you go.
He can't stop Kobe, but he's pestering the shit out of him. You can just see.
What I'm hearing here is Lakers need some new blood.
Well, they do have new blood, but they just...
You know what's better than good
don't say
blood?
It. Don't say
new
it.
blood.
Don't say it. Don't. You know what? They have role players. You know what? In the triangle offense, it's also almost like a triangle defense. They actually work a system, but you can't. They just don't do what they call consistent hustle press you all through the game. They pick their spots.
Well,
but now
you need to change that, honey.
Well, let's go to the next one, because here's the NBA playoff I really want to get an answer to address with, and it's really about, I guess you can say, the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. What is missing from the Celtics and lost to Heat? I mean, we've covered Boston. Are there some similarities here as it relates to the Mavericks and the Lakers? What is it that's different? We've already covered the Nowitzki and Dallas and what we think is the difference. I think it's age, and I think it's also they plugged in some other components. But for the Boston Celtics, Mario, what do you think it is that's different?
It's a little different, but there are similarities. The difference is that these are a little bit more two veteran teams, but one still has a little more age on it than the other.
Right.
But it really has to do with the ability of known leader players.
Right.
Their ability to step up in key moments. It's like the regular things that come down to being in a championship. It's whether or not your best people do their best job. It is a championship. In a championship, by definition, you need to bring your best shit.
Right.
It's the championship.
I agree.
And if you get to the championship and play poorly, that's not being a champion.
Right.
To be a champion has to do with elevating yourself and going places that you've never been before.
And that was Mario coming through his deepness side.
Well, you know what?
That philosophy. But I mean, you're absolutely right.
You have to go you know what they say, that to be a champion, you have to toe the edge so much that you risk losing.
Yeah, and it's true. And Mario, can you do some? Can you roll up to the next graphic? Because I want to follow something you said about the champion. Let me just say this: I would be really scared if I was the Boston Celtics. Why? Because they have three amigos that have not been the three amigos. The new three amigos is in Miami Heat. They actually beat the Boston Celtics with only two of them performing at their level. So just imagine this. That they lost against a team that basically had no strong bench play. Only two of the Miami Heat amigos really were kind of significant in it. So if I'm coming back and playing it as a Boston Celtic, I'm going, they didn't give us the full three.
Yeah, but I think if there was a different team, these are veteran players who know what they can and cannot do. I don't think they really see it. They know they just have to come with their best stuff on any given night. Rondo has to step up.
Right.
Garnett has to step up.
Right.
They know what they kind of have to do. I don't think that they fall apart or anything. They're just too veteran.
Right.
In this situation, Vic. So they're going to give you consistent effort. It's still going to come down to, for one, Dwayne Wade cannot play, or can he play at that level in every game?
Yeah.
Are you going to get that? I don't know. And you really need it. Well, let's put it like this. Like I said, you got to watch out. The Celtics, to me, are not worried. They're a veteran team. They know what they can and cannot do.
Right.
They can handle a loss. It's not like the same as a young team. They're not going to fall apart or turn on each other.
Right. And I'm not saying that they can't. I think they have a lot more to recover from. They distinctly had an advantage in the psyche and the experience and the recent championships. But I think what they got really surprised with is how good the defense is with Miami. That's the one thing they didn't play against, is a defensive Miami Heat in the past. This is a new defensive monster. They've never met. We've yet to see. We've seen the bad boys of Detroit Pistons be physical in their number one defense. But I've never seen speed all around this fast in recovery than any other NBA team I can compare to in the past.
You really haven't seen it consistently from them.